If you want to lose body fat, you actually need to extend the period of time that you're not eating. In other words, extend your fasting period and get rid of all the snacks in order for you to have enough time that your insulin is low. When insulin is low, it's going to allow fat burning, which is going to allow you to pull those calories back out.
According to Dr. Jason Fung, you can easily burn fat and heal your body inside using intermittent fasting. Dr. Jason Fung is a leading expert in using fasting and low-carbohydrate diets to address obesity and type 2 diabetes. He has authored several influential books, including The Obesity Code and The Diabetes Code, which challenge conventional dietary guidelines and offer alternative approaches to managing metabolic diseases. As the co-founder of the fasting method, Dr. Fung provides resources and support for individuals looking to implement intermittent fasting into their lives.
But that's why there was nobody talking about it at the time. And that's where I started to sort of bring it into the sort of public consciousness that this is a tool. That's all it is.
Were you attacked for that at the time?
Oh, absolutely. Like I got attacked from all sides. I got, doctors were coming after me. Dietitians were coming after me. Everybody thought I was going to do so much harm. And the funny part was that,
Dr. Jason Fung advocates for fasting as an effective method for weight loss by addressing the body's hormonal balance, particularly insulin levels. Insulin, a hormone responsible for regulating blood sugar, also promotes fat storage. When we eat frequently, insulin levels remain elevated, signaling the body to store excess energy as fat. By incorporating fasting periods, insulin levels decrease, allowing the body to access and burn stored fat for energy. This process not only aids in weight loss, but also improves insulin sensitivity, reducing the risk of type 2 diabetes. Additionally, fasting can lead to a natural reduction in calorie intake and may enhance metabolic health, making it a powerful tool in achieving and maintaining a healthy weight.
Yeah, because it's been used for thousands of years. But the thing is that fasting is simply a period of time that you allow. When you set aside a period of time not eating, you're going to allow your insulin levels to fall, right? And that's the whole problem when you eat all the time, is that you're not allowing your insulin levels to fall. And so only when you allow those insulin levels to fall, that you now signal to your body to start pulling those calories back out of storage. Right? That's really the only way you can do that, which I always thought was funny because people are saying you should eat 10 times a day. That was the prevailing wisdom when I started talking about it. And it's like, then you should eat 10 times a day to lose weight. I'm like, how do you expect that to happen? Like physiologically, you simply cannot lose body fat when your insulin levels are high and you're eating. You can't, because your body is getting the instructions to store calories, not burn calories. So essentially, if the only time that you can actually pull those calories out of storage is to let insulin fall and fasting is probably the most efficient way to get there, then why don't you simply extend the period of time you spend fasting?
Dr. Jason Fung also explains that a key benefit of fasting is autophagy. Autophagy is a natural cellular process where the body cleans out damaged or unnecessary components, effectively self-eating to promote cellular repair and regeneration. This mechanism plays a crucial role in maintaining cellular health by removing dysfunctional proteins and organelles. Fasting is a significant trigger for autophagy. When the body experiences nutrient deprivation during fasting periods, insulin levels drop and glucagon levels rise, activating autophagy. This process allows the body to break down and recycle old cellular materials, leading to various health benefits. Dr. Fung believes autophagy is beneficial for cellular rejuvenation, disease prevention, and enhancing metabolic health.
Nobody knows, but probably it depends on probably how much protein you eat. Protein is the key sort of when you eat protein, autophagy just stops. So low protein, you can activate it, and it's probably somewhere around 20 to 30 hours. So you'll see a lot of religions, for example, they'll have like a 24-hour fast, right? One day that you're not supposed to eat or something like that. And maybe that's the way to cleanse your body, not just of the glucose and the fat, but also the excess proteins that are old, they're junky. I mean, you think about renovating your bathroom or something like that, right? The first thing you got to do, you got to throw out the, 1970s tub and the avocado green toilet. That's the first thing you got to do. You got to get rid of it. You got to break down before you can rebuild better. Well, autophagy might be that way to break down some of the stuff that you actually can't break down any other way. If your body's full of all this junky protein,
the duration of fasting necessary to achieve weight loss and stimulate autophagy can vary based on individual goals and health conditions. For weight loss, Dr. Fung often recommends starting with intermittent fasting methods such as the 16-8 approach, where individuals fast for 16 hours and eat during an 8-hour window. This method can help reduce insulin levels and promote fat burning. For more significant weight loss, Dr. Fung sometimes advises 24-hour fasts, done once or twice a week, where individuals consume a single meal and then fast until the same time the next day. Regarding autophagy, Dr. Fung explains that this cellular cleansing process is activated during periods of nutrient deprivation. While shorter fasts can initiate autophagy, extended fasting periods of 24 to 36 hours may enhance this process more profoundly, allowing the body to break down and recycle old, damaged cellular components.
So what are the different fasting regimens? The standard regimen, but we don't often think of it that way, is 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, with no snacks in between. And this is what we took mostly in the 1960s and 1970s. Up until then, snacks were very frowned upon, and because it was not easy to keep a lot of food in the house and so on, mostly we didn't eat in between meals and we didn't eat after dinner. So if you were hungry after dinner, your mom would usually say, oh, you should have ate more at dinner because there's nothing to eat until breakfast time. And that's where the term came from. The fasting period was from dinner one night. So if you had dinner at 7 p.m., for example, and didn't have breakfast until 7 a.m., that's a 12-hour fasting period that people had every day without thinking about it. If you ate breakfast a little later, perhaps 8 or 9 a.m., you'd have somewhere around a 14-hour period of fasting. And that provided a pretty good balance and kept people, for the most part, from getting obese, as you can see, because it's quite rare in the 60s and 70s. That is, the feeding period was 10 to 12 hours. And during that period of time, we're trying to store food energy, store body fat. And that's balanced almost every day with 12 to 14 hours of fasting. That's where the English term breakfast comes from. It's the meal that breaks your fast. So the baseline fasting period should really be about 12 to 14 hours. Now, if we're trying to lose weight, specifically lose body fat, we can simply extend that fasting period. So instead of 12 to 14 hours of fasting, we can go up to, for example, 16 hours of fasting. And this is a very popular regimen. It's often called 16-8, which denotes 16 hours of fasting in an 8-hour feeding window. So, for example, if you ate breakfast at 11 a.m. and ate until 7 p.m., well, that's an 8-hour period of time during which you can eat your meals. And outside of that, the other 16 hours, you're going to fast. So that's a 16-8. Sometimes it's also referred to as time-restricted eating because you're restricting your feeding to a certain window of time. We can take this idea even further, and we can go down to a single meal a day, for example. So instead of fasting for 16 hours, we would extend that and only have one meal, perhaps dinner, for example. So if you go from dinner one day until dinner the next day, it's about a 23 to 24 hour period of fasting. You're still eating every day in a 24-hour fast, and because of this, some people refer to this as 1 meal a day, also sometimes called OMAD or OMAD. And this is a very successful strategy for some people and also a very popular strategy, which we'll get into later. Once we go past the 24 hours of fasting, it gets into a group of fasts that I call extended fasting, because now you're going past a full day of fasting. So you're no longer eating every day. If you go to 36 hours of fasting, for example, if on Monday you eat dinner at 7 p.m., for example, and on Tuesday you don't eat at all, you don't eat until Wednesday at 7 a.m., you've got a 36-hour period of fasting. And on that Tuesday, you wouldn't have eaten at all. This is a very powerful strategy because it increases the period of time that your body relies on body fat. By skipping that one meal that you get with the 24-hour strategy, you're able to link that directly to your sleeping period, where you get almost 8 hours of fasting almost for free because you're not even aware of that. So you have 2 sleeping periods, which make up a lot of time of fasting and keeping your body in that fat burning state because your body has nothing else to rely on. And you can take this idea even further. So you don't have to limit yourself to 36 hours. You can go to 42 hours, or you can go to multiple day fast. Keep in mind that the longer fast you do, the more powerful it is. However, there's also the potential that you're not going to feel well, or you're going to run into other troubles if you are taking medications, for example. So it's a double-edged sword, and make sure, especially if you're on medication, that you do check with your doctor beforehand.
Incorporating fasting into your lifestyle can be a transformative approach to achieving weight loss and enhancing overall health. Dr. Jason Fung emphasizes that fasting is not about deprivation, but about restoring the body's natural balance and addressing the root causes of obesity and metabolic diseases. By understanding and implementing fasting protocols, individuals can take proactive steps toward improved well-being. Remember, it's essential to consult with a healthcare professional before starting any new dietary regimen to ensure it aligns with your individual health needs. If you've already tried intermittent fasting, please share your thoughts and successes in the comments below.